What is up, historians and fellow dorks? Historic Horizons is gearing up to be the most powerful set to drop on Arena thus far. So tonight, we are going over the 6 things you need to know about Jumpstart Historic Horizons. And we'll also address the digital-only controversy. So, this week on Mana Rant, episode 52. But first, I'm your host tonight. I'm Hoshi, the great creator, scion of Tom Cruise, and the reason my friends and family drink. As always, what? Do you have something there?
You're giving yourself a lot of fucking credit there, dude. The reason I drink is because of you. No. All right, keep going.
Sure. Okay, and as always, I'm joined by this big-headed, beautiful man right here who treats his own tighty-whities like his own personal toilet. The Waka Waka winner himself, DrunkenDork.
Winner, maybe not. I don't know if anyone has seen my streams for the past 2 days or 3 days or whatever. Which I have been streaming. I have been doing nothing but losing. Everything else, though, 100% correct. Giant head, waka waka, I don't even know what the fuck that means, but yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I gotta check those out. Okay, so also, if you follow the show, you can see Apollo still isn't here. And last week we announced that Apollo finally got into the Air Force and he shipped off to boot camp, right? And it didn't occur to me that when we mentioned that last week during our intros, a bunch of people on Discord were like, we don't believe you that he's in the Air Force. And that's fair, and because that's probably due to our ridiculous intros, lies, and all the different bits we do on here. I can see why you guys would think that. I could see us doing some bit like something like Apollo is now facing court-martial charges after he was caught smuggling an entire commander deck in his asshole. Something like that, which I could see that being true.
Absolutely, yeah.
Actually,
or at least his iPhone or whatever kind of phone he uses, so he could play some games of Arena Historic.
That's true. That's probably more likely. But it was true. We weren't lying last week, even though and most of you guys probably still don't believe us. But he is actually in the Air Force, so he's in boot camp, and so he won't actually be back for a while, which is sad, especially tonight, because this is episode 52, which means that we have been doing this for a year now. So this is our year anniversary, or first anniversary, I guess, of our podcast. So sad. Wish he was here. We wish him well in boot camp, and proud of him. Hope he's doing well out there. Anyways, thank you for joining us tonight. We are the Mana Dorks, and if you're new to our show, welcome. We focus on the historic format, including Historic Brawl. The way our show works is through the actual phases of Magic. So we have our Untap, Upkeep, Draw, Main Phase 1, Combat, Main Phase 2, End Step, Cleanup, and finally, our Discard. And our main phases are going to be our main topics. So if you want to hop around the show, or if you don't have time to catch the whole thing, we have time hacks in the episode description below for YouTube, and whatever podcast the time hacks will be in there, okay? And so now that we've gotten all that out of the way, let's jump into the show and start things off with our Untap phase.
Untap.
Awesome. And our Untap phase is where we just quickly go over what we're going to be drinking tonight, what we're actually going to untap, so whenever we got together as a group of friends, we always enjoyed having drinks together and playing Magic, so it feels appropriate to start every show off with some drinks, right? So what do you have?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what are you having tonight, Drunken?
I got classic, man. I got classic for me, peanut butter stout.
Oh, the Belching Beaver, huh? Very nice.
Can't go wrong.
I was just reflecting when we ate at like Gordon Ramsay's burger place, the cocktail that I had that peanut butter milk stout in it with whiskey, and it was it was so good. It was really good. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Yeah. All right. And for me, I am having a revolver, which is bourbon, Mr. Black, cold brewed coffee liqueur, and some orange bitters. And yeah, it's good. It's a rough one. I like it.
Sounds bourbon. Absolutely disgusting.
A little bourbon, a little coffee. It's great for a gruff man like myself, you know.
Dude, I realized I'm such a big fucking baby. I think I said this last week or the week before, but I just cannot deal with liquor anymore. It's too hard. Beer is it for me. So I just have a life of like getting larger and larger, you know, rounder as the years pass, as my you know, as a I can't even think right now.
Keep going.
Keep going. Yeah, I know. I'm doing great.
I forgot to. Yeah.
Metabolism. God, metabolism. That's what I was trying to say. Okay. Yes. Big word there for me.
That is. It's tough. You got to sound it out.
Really.
The title I forgot to add on to you was Hugger of Toilets. From after our vacation, you've been dubbed that as well, so we can add that to your title list.
Thank you.
All right. Well, enough with our Untap. We got our drinks ready to go, so let's move into our upkeep phase. Upkeep, get ya upkeep. All right, and upkeep is our Reddit Rant segment. And Reddit Rant is where we scour the internet for people ranting and raving about Magic the Gathering, which if you spent any time on an MTG forum, you'll know it's not very hard to do that. And so this week we will be visiting the MTG Arena subreddit.
You can do it.
I just made fun of you for that. I did the exact same thing. The MTG Arena subreddit to visit that age-old question about emote etiquette. So let's check out this one, and the title of this post is "Good Game?" ? So let's start off. It can almost I can be almost sure that this has no doubt been mentioned before, but I can't be the only person infuriated by getting the good game from someone just before they are sure they are going to pull off the winning move. Okay, so what is etiquette for that? If I give out a GG before I know I'm getting pummeled, feels fair to get one back. But the GG, now watch me destroy you situation feels like a plain bad manners. Or am I just rage posting because I got a GG losing to a counterspell / mill snooze fest that went on forever? So where do you fall on the GG etiquette, DrunkenDork? Do you think this person is being a little baby about getting the GG before they lose, or do you think that this is also terrible etiquette to do to somebody that you are now watch me destroy you, as he put it?
So I'm of two minds with this. Like, I feel like I've been recently. Like I said, I've been streaming the past couple days, which I don't do often, and I feel like I actually don't give enough credit to people who stream constantly, because it's hard. It's hard to keep composure, I feel like, and play and lose, because it's just part of Magic. You don't win every time. It doesn't matter how good you are. You know? I was getting so fucking frustrated, like, not while I was actually playing and streaming, because I had my happy face on, so I think naturally I was giving myself good vibes, but as soon as I was done streaming, someone did that. They, like, played something and then played something else. I wish I remembered what exactly they played, and they were like, good game, and they weren't even about to win, you know, but they were close, you know, like they were 2 turns away if they got the right hand, and I didn't get anything.
That's annoying. Yeah,
that it pisses me off. But if someone is about to beat me and they good game me, I don't ever take that as like disrespect. I think they're actually like, I think they're just like legitimate being like, hey, good game. It's like they're being nice.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not. Maybe they're trying to be jackasses.
Maybe.
But that's not how I take it. And there's there's bliss and ignorance, or there's ignorance and bliss. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. However the saying goes, And so as long as I'm thinking that, I think it's fine. Yeah, it's the other one that really bothers me. It's when they good game me on like turn 2 because they have 2 fucking like they put like 3 burning tree emissaries out or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then you just wipe their board, and you're like, good game.
And then you just wipe their board. But even then, like, I try not to do that because it is very spiteful, and but whatever. Yeah, But like I said, I'm of 2 minds of this.
I totally get it. Yeah, if you lose and you throw out the GG, that's a very good sportsmanship. I think there's like no debate there. But I do GG people like if I had a good game with them, even if I'm winning. But I only do it when I'm on the kill turn. I don't do it prior to that because I think that is it's bad etiquette, and if you do that and you lose, you're a total jackass, so all right, well, good. I love the but the GG, now watch me destroy you.
That fucking post was hard for me to read because the grammar was so.
I was
like, what the fuck am I reading right now?
I know that's all the Reddit rant posts that I do too. I already am not like I'm reading at like a 5th grade level and already, and then I'm trying to like just cut through these grammar of the Reddit posts, and it doesn't make for great reading sometimes, but anyway. Agreed. Anyways, well, that was Reddit Rant. If you guys had a post that you guys found out there on the internet that you think would be great for our Reddit Rant, send it our way. And we got some good ones last week, but they just I just love this one for some reason. I don't know why. Anyways, with that, that was our upkeep. Now we're gonna move into our draw phase.
Let's draw.
And so our draw phase is another just like quick phase where we talk about what we've been playing this week, like anything interesting in MTG. So DrunkenDork, take it away. Have you been playing anything interesting?
Yeah, I absolutely have. So this week, like I said, I've been streaming. I've been playing a lot of Historic. I've been playing a lot of mono green, like, I don't know, aggro mid-range. I guess it's like kind of in the middle. Maybe that's why it's not that good, because it's a kind of like undecided deck.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've been playing a lot of that, best of 3. It's a lot of fun. It climbed me through the ranks. I didn't play a lot this month because, I went on vacation, and then I was in Atlanta, and then I had to come back because of some fucking weird-ass work COVID shit. And now I've been taking class. I'm going on a tangent. Anyway, I hadn't played that much, and like over the past week, I started like really digging into Historic, and I've been playing this mono green deck, and then like once I noticed that the flaws in the deck, I made a green white death and taxes because I fucking love punishing people for being greedy, and the main thing I've noticed in the meta is, especially in best of 3, is black is like the main color. Like you see it even in best of 1, but way more in best of 3. You see it 3 out of 4 times there is a black deck, whether it's Jund Sacrifice, or Jund Sacrifice.
Yeah.
No, there's other ones too. There's Grixis, there's Mono Black still, there's Jund, there's Dimir. And so I made a green-white, fuck you deck to black. And it's basically got Grook's Harbinger, which I finally said it right. It's got Scavenging Ooze, which is really good in the meta. Amazing. It has the stupid Elemental that doesn't allow people to sack creatures.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about? The green-white one?
Yes, yeah, I know exactly
I forget what it's called.
The warthog guy. Yeah.
Yeah, the pig elemental. And it's just got a lot of good cards in it. It has the creature that your opponents, when they cast non-creature spells, they cost one more, or anyone actually. Thalia, that's the name.
Oh yeah, Thalia's great.
Yeah, so it just runs a lot of good stuff. It's basically like green-white good stuff, but just against the meta right now. And it has been working really well.
Awesome.
So maybe I'll do a stream or something tomorrow. I feel like now that I'm waking up in the morning and like getting my day over with at like a reasonable time, I'm able to do stuff like stream, you know?
Yeah,
which feels good.
That's awesome. Yeah. I haven't got a chance to do that yet. I've been playing like a little bit of Gruul here and there, and then mainly I've been playing a guy from our Discord, S'mores and Bacon, who's coming up with good decks. I've been playing his mono red control deck. I made a couple little tweaks to it, but man, that deck is awesome. It's so much fun to play. There's a good amount of strategy involved in that deck and like playing things out right, but it's got some weaknesses to it, like big green creatures are difficult to deal with, and then but other than that, there's not like a lot of decks that it has like a super hard matchup against, and it does really well against some of the like top decks in the meta right now. It's super fun. I've been really enjoying playing that, and that's been the main thing that I've been playing this week. Nice. Besides looking at all these spoilers. So anything else?
Dude, so excited. Yeah, I just want to shout out to S'mores and Bacon. That is a sick looking deck. I wanted to play it so bad.
It's great.
But I refuse to spend any wild cards right now because of all the wild cards we're gonna be talking about.
Yeah, to make this one, it was like 2 or 3 wild cards for me, so I was willing to spend it, and it was well worth it for this deck. But yeah, so that was our draw phase, and now we are going to move into our main phase 1.
Main phase 1.
And our main phase 1 tonight is going to be the 6 things you need to know about Jumpstart Historic Horizons. Wow, this set is crazy, man. It just gets getting crazier and crazier. There's so much going on with this set, and I've been doing a lot of research on it this week, and some stuff is still vague, but I've been able to figure out like a lot of main points that we should talk about that you need to know about this set that's coming out. So let's take a look. So the first thing is what is new about Jumpstart. So this is actually Jumpstart set, and so like let's see if they made any changes to the actual Jumpstart format. Why are they doing digital cards only in this set? This has got a bunch of people's buttholes really tight. And then next, what are the new mechanics that are coming out with this set? How many cards are we getting actually in this set? And then what kind of release are we getting for this? Is it like a traditional release? Is it a Jumpstart release? And then how much money is this set going to cost us? Spoiler, a lot. So first, let's go into what's new with this Jumpstart. Okay, so DrunkenDork, you played a lot of Jumpstart. I know this is like basically your favorite format out of anything right now. So talk about like what Jumpstart like really is.
So Jumpstart is basically a format where you open 2 packs of cards. And you pick a theme, so each pack has a theme, and you see what the theme is when you're picking it, or at least on Arena. And the way I play it at home, it's the same. But anyway, you pick a theme, so it could be like in the last Jumpstart, there were like goblins, or archaeology, or wizards, fun stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then you pick another theme that you think sounds like it would work well with it. And there were definitely themes that worked really well together. For sure. And that's basically what it is. Now, do you want me to keep going about how it's different?
Well, we'll get into that in a second. So,
Okay.
yeah. So from what I've read so far, the way that the game is actually going to work is exactly the same as you described it, right? Even the amount of themes that are going to be in this one is exactly the same. There's 46 different themed packs in the last one, and there's the same amount of themes in this one. It seems like there's more because there is actually more cards in this set than there was in the last Jumpstart set. But the game supposedly works the same way. The difference is in the cards that you get in those theme packs. So you can talk about that. What's going on there?
Okay. So I actually don't have the percentages. So it might be better for you to say something, but yeah, from what I understand is the way they're doing it now, because there's significantly more. I think the last Jumpstart set had about like 500. It had a little less than 500, and this has 726 or something like that.
Yeah, we'll get into that. I got the numbers for it.
782. And so now basically what's happening is instead of like, okay, I'm choosing elves. So I'm either going to get this sweet ass elf, the one that your spells can't get countered. I'm going to get the mana elf, the one that taps for all the elves you control, or I'm going to get like some other elf.
Yeah.
Well, now say elves existed in this set, which we don't know what the packets are yet. Instead of those 3, there's probably going to be 5 or more, and that's it is good, but at the same time, it's also really bad because like for people like me and Hoshi and the people in our Discord channel, like I do really like Jumpstart.
Yeah. Me too.
And I do like a little bit of variance, but I also want to get the cards, and that means that like it's going to be way harder to get the ones you want.
Yeah. So I have a little breakdown right here where it shows so they're giving the percentage for each pack too, and like what you're actually going to get for it. So this really sucks because one of the like best cards that I've seen spoiled so far is Tome of the Infinite, and you have a 33% chance of getting that one. It's like next to Sailor of Means, which is an aviation pioneer, which are some garbage cards. That's like the lowest percentage that you have of getting it, in the pack. So you might have to, pick this pack like 3 times to be able to get one Tome of the Infinite, possibly, so. Not super loving that part about this set. Their reasoning for it is that it's going to make it so the games are more varied, so that you don't know exactly what your opponent is really going to have in their deck.
Yeah.
Where in the way that it played out before, you had a very good idea of possibly what was in the person's deck. And this way, it can vary wildly. That's what they say. But I see a little bit of money behind them eyeballs too, for that one.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
All right, so let's move.
I do want to say this real quick.
Yeah.
Is I definitely think that they fucking did this really well. Like, I think this is a really good way to introduce an older set because like they could have just given us packs and you just pay for them and open them. But I actually like this a lot better because like you're not really paying that much more to open a pack. I think it's actually the same price, $2,000 to play, right? And so that's like getting 2 packs. Yeah. So I like it. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, and I think it's a very interesting way, especially like when they just drop set after set after set after set on you in a like traditional fashion. This is kind of like a nice palette change to get at least a game with it too, Yeah. So yeah. All right, let's move on to the next one. Why are they doing digital cards only? This once again has made people very upset that there are 31 cards, I think, or 31 or 32 cards that they've come out with that will only exist in Arena. They will not do a paper printing of these, okay? And people are lighting their hair on fire in the streets about this because they want these cards. They don't like this. They think that that this is now the end of paper magic is what a lot of people are thinking. And we'll talk about that in main phase 2. I think it's ridiculous. But the reason that they're really doing this is because Arena can do stuff that we can't do in real life. Like they can take advantage of coding in this game to do some really cool effects, and we'll talk about that in the mechanics. But these effects would be like impossible or like just completely ridiculous and hinder the game a lot if you were to actually do them in paper, where it's effortless for the Arena client to do it. So that's why they want to do this. I was listening to them talk about the R&D guys, and they come up with ideas for Magic all the time, but a lot of them end up getting thrown in the dumpster because it's just, impossible really to do in paper. So they're since Arena's come around, they're going back into these like thrown away ideas and like, hey, maybe we can do some of this stuff now, because Arena can actually handle these things without it being cumbersome. So I think they're dipping their toe into it right now, and I think they're getting a pretty volatile reaction for what seems like a pretty cool thing to me. And one of the things that they're also downplaying it with is that these digital cards will only exist in Historic. They're not going to touch Standard or anything else. Okay, so Historic is the only one being tainted by these digital cards, which I'm completely fine with. And do you have anything about that or anything else you heard about the digital cards, Mike?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I want to say, us, the Mana Dorks, the Mana Rant podcast, we have been wanting this for a very long time. Yeah. I think, like I said in my stream yesterday, I think, I don't know, but I think we might be the longest running consistent Historic podcast that exists.
I think so, yeah.
And so we have been touching on this since the very beginning. We're like, Historic needs love. They need digital only. It's the first digital only format. They really need to explore that space. Yeah. I even made a Reddit post about it, and I got fucking pooped
you got destroyed. Yeah. I remember that.
I was like, we need this. Yeah. Explore these spaces because it makes it, a more exciting game. Now we're gonna get into the mechanics in a moment, so I don't want to dig into that, but I think it's really cool. I think nice. From the outside, them just even mentioning it, I think it's cool. I think the prospects of this is great because that just means if this is successful, they're going to do more stuff like this. And I think this is going to be actually really successful. The squeaky wheel gets the grease, and that's why you see so much shit on the internet. Those people can go, suck a dick.
Yeah, I think we'll get more into that in the second main phase when we'll try and look at things from their side too. But until then, let's move on. Next, we're going to move on to what are the new mechanics. Okay, so there are 3 brand new mechanics that will only be in Historic, which is really cool. I think that these are the mechanics that will only be on these 31 cards that we're getting. And one of them is permanently or perpetually or whatever, and then perpetually, there we go. I can read. Remember I said 5th grade level. And then we have Seek and Conjure. And then Historic is also getting a crazy amount of mechanics that are coming in from like Historic Horizons and all the other stuff that they're dumping into this set too. So Historic is getting a bunch of new mechanics, but these are the 3 that are coming to the brand new ones. So let's break these down real quick. The first one we have is Perpetually, okay? And so Perpetually modifies a target card permanently. And so that comes into effect in any state of play that the card goes in. So if it's in your hand, if it's in the graveyard, if it gets shuffled back into your library, that effect stays on that card. And down here at the bottom, I said, I don't think this is an impossible thing to do in paper, but I think it would be a giant pain in the ass. Like next to you'd have to put like basically a sticker on the card, to have that effect on there, which could enable cheating and all kinds of stuff. So I think this is one that is perfect for this whole like digital only thing. And let's take a look at a card that has this effect on it. So this is Davriel's Withering. It's a 1 and a black for an instant, and target creature perpetually gets -1, -2 on it. And so this seems pretty good to me, but where I think this seems amazing is in Historic Brawl. If you do this to a commander that is a 2-drop commander, bye-bye that commander forever, right? So they haven't addressed whether the Perpetually is going to, how that's going to come into play into Historic Brawl or not, but I don't see them banning it in there. So
I think it's absolutely going to exist, and I think that card looks amazing. Yeah, it looks really good.
Hey, if you hate Kinnan, guess what? You hit him with that. No more Kinnan. He's gone forever. So basically. Pretty sweet, right? All right. Anything else you want to mention about Perpetually?
No. How about I read Seek? Is that fine?
Yeah, let's go for it. All right. So next, take it away.
So next is going to be Seek. It's seek a card with specific criteria, randomly pulling one from your library that meets the criteria without shuffling afterward. So this is a very interesting mechanic, because this is something you absolutely cannot do in paper. Because one, you're always going to have to shuffle your deck because you have to look through it.
Yep.
And two, you know, like, because it is digital, kind of like talking about shuffling your deck is you know, because it's coming digitally, it's just going to pull all the cards that meet the criteria out, right?
Yep.
And then you get to pick one, or it picks one for you.
Randomly.
Now, the one thing I say that's bad about this is this looks very much like a Hearthstone mechanic to me. And but I know some smart people are going to get together and they're going to make a sweet ass deck that uses Seek, and it's just going to destroy you. It's going to be a combo win or something, I'm sure, you know, depending on what we get.
I can absolutely see that. So, I wrote down here, this is impossible to do in paper. This is one of the ones that like would not be possible without Arena. So let's take a look at 2 different cards here that have Seek on them. One of them I think is really cool, which is Bounty of the Deep. It's a 2 and a blue for a sorcery, and if you have no land cards in your hand, seek a land card and a non-land card. So this just randomly grabs a land and a non-land out of your deck for you. Otherwise, seek 2 non-land cards. So this one doesn't really seem like you can break it, right? However, Manor Guardian is 2 and a black for a demon, 4/3, and when Manor Guardian dies, each player seeks a non-land card with mana value 2 or less. So with this card, you can see how they can make it very specific on what meets that like criteria for seeking. So I think you're absolutely right. Someone will definitely be able to figure out you know, a way of screwing with these Seek cards to find like some type of combo or something. And I think that's why they're trying to like limit it in these certain ways and randomize it. But I think this is a really cool mechanic. What do you think?
I really like it. It seems, like I said, very Hearthstone-like. You know, very random number generation type of thing, you know, where you get what you get, but people can tune their decks and refine them. And what comes to my mind when I see this card or this mechanic is that new white card that came out in Adventures and whatever, the Forgotten Realm. Where you can sack an artifact and bring another artifact back. So this, I think, like, we don't know what we have yet, but like those type of cards are combo wins. So if someone's able to go seek out a card and put it out and sack it and just get that chain going, you know, like, there you go. I don't know how shitty of a combo that's going to be or if that's even going to be viable, but that's like the first thing that came to my head was like that. But I didn't have the energy to go look it up and see if there's anything like that. So who knows? Who knows?
So the one thing that I did I tried to look at and I couldn't get a solid answer about is you're not drawing the card. I think it's just being placed in your hand, from what I can tell. When you seek it, it goes into your hand, so it doesn't trigger draw effects. Like Narset can stop you.
Shut the fuck up, Nissa.
Narset or whatever.
Or Narset, I mean, sorry.
Exactly. So Narset can't stop this effect, so yay. All right. Anything else for Seek?
Nope.
Cool. Let's talk about Conjure then. Conjure is probably the coolest mechanic I think that we're getting so far. And this creates a card from you for you out of thin air. Basically, and it's a real card. It's not a token, and it gets placed in your hand. Once again, I did not get confirmation on whether you're drawing this, but I think it's just placed in your hand because it's coming out of nowhere, so you're not drawing it out of your deck. But this one is ridiculous.
You're not drawing it.
Yeah, I figured. Okay, it's just being placed directly in your hand. And so this one is absolutely ridiculous, I think, to do in paper, because you would have to have all these other cards outside the game, right? So like one card would require you to have like, you know, who knows how many other cards, and then randomly like pull them. So let's just take a look at some
I feel like
cards.
You would need like David Blaine or Chris Angel next to you. Like every time you played, like Chris Angel would stab himself in the chest and then pull out a random magic card and be like,
here it is. Yeah. So let's take a look at two Conjure cards real quick. One that's like pretty tame, and then one that's completely busted. So we have Wingstead Tamer, which is 3 and a white for a human creature. That's a 2/3, and when Wingstead Tamer enters the battlefield or attacks, conjure a Stormfront Pegasus card into your hand. So this seems completely like, you know, tame, pretty normal. I mean, it's pretty cool. You're getting a creature every time you enter the battlefield or attack with this thing. So, and it's an actual card too. That's what's crazy. So I think if this thing dies, it goes in your graveyard, right? The thing that you conjured, it's like it's in your hand. It's a real card now. So it doesn't just like return to nothing. It's like permanently added to your deck at this point, which is crazy. And then the next one is just, this one is gonna be a problem, I think. And this is Tome of the Infinite, which is 2 and a blue for a legendary artifact. And it is 1 in tap. Conjure a random card from Tome of the Infinite spellbook into your hand. It perpetually gains. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast this spell. So this has 2 of the mechanics in it. You conjure, and that card perpetually is just whatever mana to spend it. Crazy. Have you seen, Drunken, what spells you can conjure with this?
Yeah. Do you want me to name a couple, or do you have them ready?
I do. I have them ready. But go for it.
So we have, I believe, Swords to Plowshare.
Yep. So that's one of them.
Okay.
Crazy.
We have Force Spike.
Yep.
Ponder.
Yep.
Dark Ritual.
Yeah.
Duress. Assault Strobe.
Okay.
Lightning Bolt.
Yikes.
Fog.
Yikes.
Giant Growth.
Yeah.
Light of Hope.
Yep.
And I believe Tropical Island. I know that one exists. I don't know. What other ones do we have?
It's not. I don't think Tropical Island is in this one. I think these are the only ones that you're getting with this. I think Tropical Island might be connected to something else.
Okay.
Yeah. I think these are the only ones that you're getting with the Tome spellbook. Which is
okay.
Which is only these ones. Oh darn.
Yeah.
You know, these are all
I mean, Giant Growth is pretty powerful.
It is. I mean, these are all insane cards, and they're all very cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, Duress is like probably, I mean, out of all of these, you know, it may be Assault Strobe if you're not running creatures or something. That Giant Growth might kind of, you know, be whatever.
Yeah.
But everything else is so good, and especially if you can just like untap this thing again and pull more stuff out of it. Yikes! I'm curious to see what's gonna happen with that card. But yeah. Do you have any other thoughts about Conjure?
Yeah, I want to say, just like Seek, I think this is very much like a Hearthstone-y style card.
Yeah.
Where it's very random, even more than Seek. Seek, you can kind of control what you're going to pull out of your deck, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you make your deck, right? This, you have literally no control of what you are getting, which it feels like I played a lot of Hearthstone for a long time.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what, like, actually good card draw was in that game.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what this feels like. doesn't mean I think it's bad.
Yeah, is that a bad thing?
Really want to see it working.
I mean, drawing cards off the top of your deck without, scrying is basically random Hearthstone stuff, right? Top decking. I don't know why everyone thinks that like getting random stuff is automatically like cheesy Hearthstone things, when that's half of what Magic is. I mean,
kind of.
Hearthstone
I disagree with that a little bit.
Hearthstone just went hard on the random stuff. That's why you're so in tune to think that like anything with like RNG, you're like Hearthstone, because they really embrace that mechanic. But I could see people like not liking this because of that. Like all these RNG, people didn't like the dice roll thing because of that. Anyways, let's move on to the next thing you need to know. And this is how many cards are we actually getting. DrunkenDork already mentioned this. We're getting 782 cards, but in the first set we only got 664. So we're actually getting over 100 more cards in this set than we did in the last Jumpstart set. And that's to show like those variable cards that they're adding in there, which I don't know how I feel about that, because it's more wild cards we have to like, pull out of the set and like keep playing Jumpstart. But luckily Jumpstart's fun, so I think they're just hoping we play more Jumpstart with this set. And then let's see, 372 of these will be brand new to Arena,
that's huge.
Which doesn't, so that doesn't sound that much considering we're getting 782 cards. But if you think about the first Jumpstart that got added, I would say that Jumpstart, when it came to Arena, majorly shifted the historic format, right? Yeah, I would say
absolutely.
So. In the first one, we only got 78 new cards to historic. This time we're getting 300 more cards than that, basically, which is going to be absolutely insane. And then the 31 of them are going to be the digital cards that are only going to be... That falls into the 372 cards that we're getting. But those are only going to be in historic and nowhere else. So you got anything to add to how many cards we're getting?
I don't know if you covered it anywhere here, but I think so far the cards they spoiled, it looks really interesting, because originally it was just looking like they called it Modern Horizons, right?
Yeah.
Like they call it Jumpstart Modern Horizons. And
Historic Horizons.
Historic Horizons.
Yeah.
And they just like showcased a bunch of modern cards, but as of today, which is the 29th, the past couple days, they've been showing cards from other sets that are going to be entering as well.
Yeah.
Not just Historic not just Historic 1 or Historic 2, or Historic Horizons 1 or 2. Like we've been seeing sets from seeing cards from like
M14
new from all kinds of sets. I forget what the set's called, but I think that's really interesting because you never know what you're going to get. And not only are there a lot of good cards from both Modern Horizons, but there are just a lot of good cards out there. And so far, it just looks real fucking powerful. And I'm excited.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So next, what kind of release are we getting for this? And so as far as I know, this is just going to be a Jumpstart release like last time, right? So it's going to launch on August 21st, which I saw a spoiler, which I thought was going to be the 12th, and I was like, what? This is coming like
I saw the 12th too. It's the 21st?
It's the 21st, yeah. So that must have been a misprint or something. Yeah, because it's the 21st. I know, right? I was like, oh my god, this is coming in no time.
I'm looking at an article right here that says August 12th through September 9th.
Everything that I saw was saying August 21st. So
I think it's the 12th.
I checked the IGN one, which was supposed to be legit. That was supposed
to the one.
That was supposed to be the the drop article from the president or whatever of IGN talking to Wizards. But
anyone in the comments, please correct us right now.
Yeah, because that's a giant difference.
August 12th. The newest one I'm looking at, they say it today.
Okay.
This was today. It's going from August. It arrives on August 12th.
Wow. Okay. So there is a lot of misinformation out there about this set then. Because, I triple checked that today on like multiple websites and saw 21st. great. There's a lot of other dyslexic people out there than just besides me. Okay, because I thought I was going crazy. I was like, I thought it was the 12th, and now it's the 21st. And all right, anyways, and yeah, it's going through September 9th. And then once again, the one thing that sucks about Jumpstart is it goes away. And then the only way to get these cards is to just straight spend wild cards on them, which sucks. I think that's the major downside that I don't like about the Jumpstart set, is that with all the other things, you can get packs, and sometimes you get like, you know, deals on packs, but there's never a deal on like a Jumpstart thing. You know, it just doesn't pop up. So that's probably the one like real thing that I hate about this. And then the last thing is how much.
Wait, hold on. I want to say one more bad thing about
Sure.
One more thing about it releasing on August 12th.
Yeah.
That's my wife's birthday.
Oh.
So I'm going to have to like run to the bathroom and
sucks
be like,
hey, for her, I guess.
I got to go to the bathroom and again. And she's going to be like, that's the 5th time today. What the heck?
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
It's
the food we ate last night.
It's the release. It's going to crash anyways, so it doesn't matter. Every release crashes, right? So next, how much? How much is this going to cost? All I've been able to see so far is an entry to this event is going to cost 2,000 gold or 400 gems. I haven't seen anything about a bundle or anything yet. Have you seen anything about this?
No. I don't think they're going to do. I think it's going to be exactly like the last Jumpstart, which is 2,000 gold. Or what was it? How many gems?
400, which seems like a lot.
400 gems.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like they're so fucking stingy on those gems.
Yeah,
man.
Those gems are not cheap.
It should be like 200 gems.
Yeah.
300 gems. 400 gems? Come on.
That's a lot. Yeah.
It's a lot.
That is a lot. So, I mean, that sucks. I was really hoping they would do some kind of bundle, considering, like, this is going to be, like, the set that people want the most in Historic, you know, because it's going to be the most powerful thing. So, I mean, you were talking about this earlier in the pod, but I felt like it needs to be reiterated here. Save your wild cards and that gold for this set, because this is going to be an expensive set, and it's going to be a lot of cards. Yeah, I know. I'm very proud of you. You know, you don't always say the smartest stuff, but every once in a while you really nail it right on the head.
Do I say anything smart ever? I guess.
You know what? I'll give you credit sometimes.
Okay.
Every once in a while, you know. It's like that saying that you have, like, even a dumpster gets a steak every once in a while, or filet mignon.
Yeah. I love that saying. It's a good one.
I know.
And half the time I can't even say that saying.
You mess it up so often. You're like, even a steak gets a dumpster every now.
Even a steak gets a trash can every once in a while.
All right, and that was main phase 1. That was the 6 things that you needed to know about Jumpstart Historic Horizons. And with that, let's get into our combat phase.
Dorkish combat.
All right. Cool, man. So this is the horseshit card game. This is a game where I name a bunch of cards. I've changed it recently, so I'm just going to go forward saying this spiel. I name a bunch of cards, and it's up to this drunken idiot and any other idiot that's watching right now to figure out that one of these cards is not in Historic. How well do you know Historic? Hoshi got it right last week, and that was the first time. We definitely didn't establish a point system. I think we need to going forward.
Yeah.
It's just you and I, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I think we do a 1-point system.
Okay. Sure.
And just make it easy on ourselves.
Yeah.
And Chicavio, buddy, if you're watching this on the stream, you're watching this on YouTube, I believe in you. This is easy. We're going into rares today. So all these cards are rares. One of them doesn't belong in Historic. Which one is it, Hoshi? I'm going to start off with the first one. Far on the left, if you're watching this.
Yeah,
that is...
They're up now.
Honored Hydra. It is 5 and a green for a creature snake Hydra. It has trample, and it has embalm for 3 and a green. And it is a 6/6.
Okay.
Then we have Abandoned Sarcophagus. It is 3 colorless mana for an artifact. And it says, you may cast spells that have a cycling ability from your graveyard. If a card that has a cycling ability would be put into your graveyard from anywhere and it wasn't cycled, exile it instead. Then we have Bog Brew Witch. 3 and a black for a creature, human, wizard. For 2 colorless, tap. Search your library for a card named Festering Newt or Bubbling Cauldron. Put it onto the battlefield tap, then shuffle your library. It is a 1/3. And then we have Blood Artist. 1 and a black for a creature vampire. You have your hands back. Do you already know what it is?
No, I don't. Not yet. I'm in between two. Okay. I'm in between 2. Yeah.
All right. Then we have Blood Artist. Creature vampire. It says, whenever Blood Artist or another creature dies, target player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Finally, Celestial Mantle. 3 white, white, white. For an enchantment aura, says enchant creature. Enchant creature gets +3/+3. Whenever enchanted creature deals combat damage to a player, double its controller's life total.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's such a cool card.
All right, Hoshi.
Oh, man.
Here's a few cards for you.
Yeah, this is better. This is harder than last week, that's for sure.
It's going to get harder because next week it's going to be uncommons, and then the week after it's going to be commons, and then I'm just going to be doing nothing but uncommons and commons after that.
Ooh, nice. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Historic is about to get way more insane, too, with all these.
Way bigger, yeah.
I know. So this game's going to get a lot harder. Oh, man. Okay, so there's 3 of them that I'm sure of. I know I've seen those 3, but there's 2 that I'm really fighting over.
Okay.
Oh, man. They both seem legit, and I could totally see me not seeing either of these 2 pop up.
Okay.
Man, I think I'm gonna go with the Honored Hydra.
Honored Hydra.
Yeah, I'm in between that and the Bog Brew Witch, but I'm leaning more towards the Honored Hydra because I'm pretty sure I've seen Festering Newt before and stuff, but both of these 2, I have no idea. I haven't seen either of these, so I'm gonna just roll the dice on Honored Hydra right now. So, final answer. Oof.
Hoshi, brother, you got it right this week, buddy.
Yes.
Honored Hydra is not in Historic. Woo. It is in a set that is in Historic.
Yeah, because it's got a embalm on it. Yeah. So.
Yeah. It just never entered. It wasn't in that pile of cards that they put in with what was that, Amonkhet Remastered or whatever they called it. But it was in one of those sets. Hour of Devastation, Amonkhet, something like that.
Yeah.
Good job. 1 point, Hoshi. 0 points, me.
That was good.
So whenever you get one wrong,
close.
I'll get a point. That's just how we'll do it. Okay?
Sure. That'll work. I was so close to picking the Bog Brew Witch. I can't believe she's in there. I've never seen that card before. What set is that one from?
That is from the original Jumpstart. Yeah.
Really?
I totally got it a bunch of times. I have like 4 fucking Bog Brew Witches because
Okay.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. Well, that was fun.
Good.
Yeah. Do you think Butler or Apollo would have got that right?
I have little faith that Apollo gets anything right in life. I just hope and pray we don't see him on the news anytime soon.
All right. Well, do you got anything else before we go into main phase 2?
I just want to say, Jacavio, I hope you got it right, buddy.
I do too. You need this one. You got it last week. Let's go 2 in a row.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on.
Main phase 2.
So in main phase 2, we are going over the digital card controversy. because everyone is losing their absolute shit about the fact that there are digital cards only and that this is the death of paper Magic. Okay, now I think just from listening to you earlier, you're in favor of the digital cards. It sounds like, Drunken.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I can go down a rabbit hole here, but
yeah. Okay, so I'm in the same boat as you are. I really like the digital cards. I like the flexibility that it has and the cool stuff that they could do with it. So let's look at our opponents then, because I mean we're both in agreement that this is a great thing and they should move forward on this, and that I'm okay with them not printing these cards. What do you think the downside is of there only being digital cards? Can you think of anything? Because I've read a lot of people's bitches and groans about it, and I'm having trouble really seeing a rational argument to why. Okay. Can you think of any rational argument to why digital cards only is bad for Magic?
So I don't think that's really the problem that people are having here. I don't think it's bad for Magic at all.
Yeah.
I think if anything, it's going to make Magic grow. But I don't think that's the problem. I think it's the problem is these people have invested a lot of money in Legacy and Modern and stuff. And when they start printing Modern cards in a digital format like this, where you can just what
the fuck? Okay, so I ran into some technical difficulties, and those technical difficulties are lightning struck some of my internet service in my area. So I'm sorry, guys. My internet went down, so the stream went down. My connection to DrunkenDork went down, and it turns out I was the one streaming everything this week. So I'm really sorry, guys. That's the hassle that happens when you live in Florida. Is there is terrifying lightning here, and it hits stuff and it takes stuff down sometimes. And of course, it happened while we're recording. I'm really sorry about that. We will finish our discussion about the digital controversy next week, and for our end step, we were going to talk about, it's been a year, what it's been like for us doing a podcast over a year now. And of course, this is just classic that lightning takes out our podcast on 1 year. Is it a sign? Hopefully not. So we were going to reminisce, about our struggles, kind of doing this, living apart and all this kind of stuff. So I guess we'll get into that next week as well. And with that, let's get into our cleanup phase. And cleanup is just our social medias. And so, we have a Discord channel, which is awesome. Check out our YouTube if you're listening to only audio, because we put a lot of work into our YouTube production, actually. And I think it's a pretty fun show. We also stream this on Twitch. So if you guys want to watch us live, we do this every Thursday, or we try to do this every Thursday. And you can watch it and hang out with us and play the horseshit card game in real time with us. And and with that, I guess we're just gonna wrap it up this week. So I don't, normally let's move to our discard phase where we finish what we've been drinking. I already finished my revolver, so I am moving on to my Vizzy seltzer right now, and I know DrunkenDork has already pounded his Belching Beavers. So thank you for joining us tonight, and we will see you again next week here on Mana Rant. Cheers, everybody.